Okay, everyone, I wanted to take some time to give you a little bit of instruction as to how to work the CellGate app. Now, the CellGate app is available in both the Apple Store and also the Google Play Store. So you just need to go and download that. You will then have to go into the app information and grant all the permissions. Now, in no way, shape, or form does this give the app any sort of access to any sort of personal information that you have, whereas if you'd like to be able to receive the video from the gate and also to receive the calls from the gate, you will need to grant all the permissions allowed or afforded within the app. So this tutorial is based upon you having already registered at fontainewest.com. So once you have done that, and you have also downloaded the app, and then you have also granted all the permissions, the next step is going to be this. As you can see here, I've already loaded up my login or username, which is just my email that I used to sign up. Now, for some people, you may not have gotten the link to reset your password. Because you did not specify a password or we did not require it when you signed up, if you have not already set your password, what you're going to need to do is where it says forgot password, you need to click that. That then is going to ask you for an email address. You are going to enter your email address. It will then send you a reset password link to your email. Once you get that, click on it, reset your password, and then come back to the app. So now that you have your login, which is your email, and also your password, I highly suggest that you check the buttons that say I agree with you must check the I agree with the privacy policy and terms of service. And then the remember me is optional, but I would highly recommend that you do it. So let's go from there. You just press this little arrow here. That's going to send you to a screen like this. You really should not see anything other than this. If you do, please reach out to the administrator. So let's just take a little tour. Here you have the dashboard. There's virtual keys. There's a reset password option. There's settings, and then obviously there's logout. Now, for most people, including myself, I like to turn on the biometric sign-in. It just makes it easier. That way you don't have to keep re-entering your password. So once you do that, you can go back to the dashboard. Now, this first feature here that you'll see, this Watchman gate icon, this is something that you would use if someone were to call you and they chose not to use a directory, or they chose not to use an access code, or they chose not to use a QR key. They're at the gate and they say, hey, look, I'm here at the gate. Can you please let me in? So what you would do is you click on the Watchman gate, and then you would click this button that says open momentarily. As you can see, the little green bar popped up at the bottom that says gate open successfully. That means that the gate was opened successfully for that person. We do not recommend that you do this because honestly, you have no way of knowing whom you've just let in, because that feature does not allow you to view from the pedestal, meaning you can't see whether it was them that really came in or whether it wasn't, or if somebody came in and snuck behind them and came onto the property. It's important to note that anyone that uses your code to get on property and they cause any sort of damage, you are then liable for that because you allowed them onto the property and they used your credentials to get onto the property. So now let's go back. So one of the main features is that if you want to create virtual keys, so let's walk and see how that is done. So let's say that you have a plumber coming, and it's Acme Plumber Company, and he says he's going to be there today, Friday, but you know that he typically shows up sometime within a 5-day span. So if he chooses not to call you from the directory, what you can do is you can give him a virtual key or a one-time key code. So what we're going to do is use a QR single-use key. There's also a pin single-use key. Both of these pretty much do exactly the same thing, but they are used in different ways and manners at the pedestal. So what you're going to do is, we'll start with the QR single-use key. You're going to tap that button, enter virtual key name. Here you can put plumber, and you're going to press done. As you can see here, the date says May 16th, 2025 at 2:07. If you click that, the default is set to 7 days, but then you can also change this. Let's say he's going to come in the next 3 days. You can change that. You press save. And as you can see now, the end date is now May 19th. So then you're going to press save. From here, now you need to send your plumber the code. So what you're going to do is click this share button here. Now, there are 3 ways that you can share this information with them. The first one is going to be SMS, which is essentially a text message. The second way is going to be email. And the third is going to be copy to clipboard. So if you enter a phone number here, you're going to click down here where it says send virtual key. That will then send it to, or in the form of a text message. It will open up your messenger and start to send the message as a text message, and you will just need to hit the send button. If you do not hit the send button from your messenger, it will not be sent, and it will essentially be saved as a draft text message. The other way that you can do that is you can send them an email address. You can send the text via an email address if you so chose. Again, you would just type in their email address, click send virtual key. That will then open up your default email messenger, and then you just need to press send. The final way is copy to clipboard. Essentially, you can copy that QR code, or you can take a screenshot and then also send that to them. The other option is with a PIN code key. Again, the steps to both the QR code key and the PIN code key are not pretty much, but they are exactly the same. The only difference is when your visitor gets to the pedestal, which button they're going to press. There's going to be a button for an access code, which is basically the PIN code key, and there's going to be a button for a QR code key, which is obviously the QR code key. So let's walk through just very briefly the PIN code key. So you're going to do create virtual key, PIN single use. Now, please keep in mind that both the QR code key and the PIN code key are single one-time use things. The PIN code key, I think, is going to be easier for the majority of people because let's say you have an Amazon package to be delivered, and for whatever reason you know that you will be unreachable via the directory or having them call you. So then you can just share this PIN code key with Amazon, FedEx, the Postal Service, DoorDash, any sort of delivery service. This is where this is going to come in handy. So what you're going to do is type, let's just say I'm going to give it to Amazon. Again, I'm going to set the time frame, so May 16th to the May 23rd. I'm going to press save. Again, I'm going to share it. So once again, I can either do an SMS via text message, which really isn't going to be helpful because there's no way that you can let, essentially the delivery driver know that, because you don't have their phone number. You could do an email possibly, but where this is going to come in very handy is copy to clipboard. So before you create your Amazon order or UPS order or your DoorDash order, you want to go ahead and create a PIN key. This number here is basically what you're going to copy and paste in your special delivery instructions. For example, you order Amazon, down the box says, are there any special delivery instructions? You say, please type code 35231 and open at the gate. And then that will then let Amazon know when they get here that that code was used. It should also send you a notification that that code was used. So then at least you know when your Amazon package has sort of made it on property. Let me see, what are some other features? If you need to reset your password, settings, again, the only other settings are the biometric sign in the time format, which you really shouldn't have to do anything with that. But other than that, that is pretty much it. Now, one of the things I would like to mention is up here in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see status ready. It's important that you keep the app logged in, because when someone calls you from the gate, you are going to get a video of the gate and you will actually be able to see them. But typically you need to be logged into the app in order for that feature to work. If you are not logged into the app and it just comes through as a telephone call, what you will need to do is save the gate number, which I will put on the website, as a contact. When that number comes in, what you'll need to do is press 1 to receive the call, because you will be prompted, and then the star key opens the gate. I'll do a separate video on that, or do a separate tutorial on that, because that was a lot of information. So for anybody that chooses not to grant permissions to the app, as far as your camera, as far as video, then you will only have the feature to use a phone call using the 1 and then the star. If anybody has any other questions, comments, or concerns, please email parking@fontainewest.com. And if we get enough of the same question, we'll be sure to possibly create a tutorial or give further clarification as to how to use that feature.